Welcome to one of the fastest races in the entire calendar, and while it's one of the newer races on the F1 World Tour, it's already staked its reputation as a fan favourite. It's Jeddah, and it's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Stroll, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, a Ferrari, Sainz, Ocon, Behrman, Hülkenberg, Albon, Perez, Bottas, Joe, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Fantastic podium at the last race, mate, but there's still a little bit of room in that trophy cabinet back at the factory. Let's see if we can fill it again. Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature. Okay, that's not... Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get good. Right, let's focus now for the rest of the race. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Russell has just put up the fastest lap of the race so far. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, mate, that's Charles behind. They are faster than you. They are faster than you. Let them through, please. Sorry about that, mate. I know you don't want to hear it, but thanks for doing that. Let's now get your head down and get to the end of this race the best way we can. Green flag. Yellow flag. Are you okay? That was a nasty hit. Turn the engine off and wait for the marshals. Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay. Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place. Okay, careful with the overtakes. That was a bit risky. We could have received a penalty. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're okay. Bull drivers just completed a pass for the lead. Right. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Safety car deployed. Stay positive.
Okay, slow down. Virtual safety car deployed. Slow down and maintain a positive... Careful, remember your teammates. Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon. Right, drop your... Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Safety car deployed. Stay positive.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the in-lap. We've been handed a 3-second... Okay, clear. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, I've got information on Joe for you. Right, they've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta's negative, which means... Okay, caution, caution. Virtual safety car is... Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. P13, you're currently in P13. Sergeant ahead. Okay, they're on old softs. Ocon's behind you, they're on fresh mediums. Our gap to first place, 31.9 seconds. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Okay, mate, our fuel usage rate is higher than we need it to be, so please let's try and back off a little bit and make it last. Okay, gap ahead, 9.2 seconds. Charles is in for his stop now. And gap to the car in front, 10.4 seconds.